In today's video, I've pulled a card from the Inner Mask Oracle deck. If you've seen this deck, use this deck. I think I also have one video with it. It's pretty complex, and she has sort of a story that goes along with it. So it's actually quite long, like the description. I will read the whole thing this time. I don't think I did that the last time I pulled a card from this deck. So just bear with me. There's parts that you may connect to and other parts you might not. It's kind of a little bit of a haunting deck, and I feel like a little bit advanced for me, but we're just going to pull a card and see what happens. Okay, so the card is Peace, number 15, Release, Attachment, End of Struggle. Alternative names: the Mask of Death, the Shroud, Release, End of Struggles, Serenity. Description: an abandoned mask sits atop a cascading mound of fabric. Only crumpled folds fill the mask now. The seeker is gone. The deserted face smiles, at peace with whatever was achieved during the seeker's stay on Earth. The mask gazes at the sky as though it is taking in an expansiveness, with an expression of peace, tranquility, and ease. Meanwhile, another wanderer crosses the desert, a crusader on a mission. Above, vultures lurk in the sky. The story that goes along with it. I once stood on a pedestal as a work of art. I was famous. The history books all showed pictures of me. I was a treasure to behold. They made copies of me. They studied me to understand the brilliance of my form. I was a beautiful and perfect study of woman in her ultimate form. No one doubted me. All compared themselves to me. Through the ages, I was the paragon of beauty, the standard against which all could be judged, everywhere, every time. I was a monument, holding down time to a point, and then things began to change. I was forgotten. They stopped visiting me, and when they did, their praise wasn't pure, it was contextualized. I wasn't unquestioned anymore. I was a relic and hard to understand. They moved me to a faraway room where I would only be seen sometimes. It was annoying being there, full of dust and cobwebs, and that's where I met the masks on the wall. The masks were hanging on the wall, plaster casts of the faces of celebrities and famed people in history. They had impressed their faces on the plaster to make something of themselves for people to study. I greeted them. They had difficulty answering, because all of them were holding their breath, trying as hard as possible to look calm. None of them were at ease. All were struggling against their existence, and now here they were in this room, forgotten figures of history, no longer studied, replaced by newer faces. I then noticed that there was one mask on the wall that was not in pain, not struggling at all, but looked in perfect peace. I called to him, but he didn't answer. He'll never respond, coughed one of the celebrities. He's dead. One cadaver, one mask of death, the only one at peace. I learned a lot from him, mainly that it was time to let go. I realized I'd been working so hard all my life to remain a symbol and maintain this idea for all to see. Now seeing the vision of actual and true peace, it looked so calm, so pleasant, so much nicer. I started crumbling as I relaxed my tense form. Parts fell from my beautiful hips, my elegant fingers. The masks on the wall asked if I was all right, if I needed help, but I didn't need anything. I had released it all. My many thoughts about myself, the many feelings about what others should think and do, all crumbled away with my stone parts. I learned so much that day from the one face that does not strain against death any longer. I once thought beauty was a thing to be encapsulated, preserved in a jar or in stone. Now I realize it's an infinite thing, and you see it best by letting it go. The one without strain is the one who has let go of everything, including itself, and by doing so, embraces all. Card meaning: death as peace, as rest, complete release, serenity, no regrets, acceptance of everything, effortlessness, total letting go, ceasing the attempt to control things not in one's control, surrender, conclusions, non-judgment, ease, allowing the world to be the world, the planet to be the planet, acceptance of the self exactly as it is. Nothing needs to happen, nothing needs to be done. Sleep and rest. Nothing more needs to be done. No efforts need to be made. Let others continue turning the wheels of the world from here. Creation's wheels turn on their own without your effort. Lesson of the departed, useful in life. Accept things as they are at this moment. The mask of death holds no resistance. It doesn't resist the ultimate state resisted by the living. Heroes continue on their quests. Buzzards devour the dead. The dead are completed. They can no more seek to fix things, themselves, or anything else. Our own mortality is something we resist with act and word and thought, but it makes no difference in the end. True acceptance of what it means being unafraid, even of one's own conclusion. There are times when one must steer the ship, and other times when it will serve one better to move with the current. The pile of cloth in the scene suggests a mountain. The spiritual journey is sometimes depicted as the climbing of a tall mountain. Reaching the top brings you closer to your gods, the highest achievement. This card suggests arrival at the peak of a quest or some ultimate height in one's introspective journeys. One has seen the gods, dwelt in their house in the sky, come to know peace in a new way. The world turns without one's moving it. The wanderer is at last unmasked, having assumed the state of undefinable all. Beneath the shroud of death, mask and wearer are finally free of each other. Reverse meaning, incompleteness, endings, or unsatisfactory resolutions, things left dangling or loose ends. Perhaps the end is not really arrived, or we cannot let go of the journey yet. The feeling of ineffectiveness, wondering if what we've done will matter, things getting lost or annihilated, forgotten or left behind, also clinging and holding on to what must be released. So that's a lot. And that is the Inner Mask Oracle. I hope you got something out of this today. I hope to see you again soon. And the next time I pull from the Inner Mask, I don't know if I'll do the story part or not. If you like the story part, say something in the comments, and I'll make sure to do it. If not, if you don't like the story part, I can leave that out. So, like I said, hope you got something out of this today, and I hope to see you again soon.